All right, hey folks, we're going to work on some Eberron artwork today. Let's check my signal here, make sure I'm coming through clearly. I'll go through my intro spiel, and then we'll get to work here for a couple hours. So, what are we doing here? Mic check, 1, 2, 3. How am I coming through? Check, 1, 2, 3. How much? Sounds good to me. All right, cool. So let's hit some buttons here. I'm going to post on Twitter and then kick across the Discords that I'm up and running. While we do that, I'm going to go through a quick intro spiel and then we'll get to work. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing game supplements. I publish them online. I've been focusing attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the past, well, since Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica came out, so like 6 years, something like that right now. So currently we're writing, we've been creating an adventure with Andy Ogoat Healy and Stuart Braz Zorbrats. They are, hold on, I should not be in here. Delete, there we go. Good, okay, check. So yeah, we're creating an adventure. It's called Crystals of Mabar. This is the book cover that we created. It's symbolic, everything. If you read through the adventure, you'll recognize everything that's going on in this picture from one piece to another. We created that. Let's get this here. I just posted I'm live on Twitter, so if you're interested, you can follow me on Twitter at Phil Kearney, where I post notifications when I'm live. Best way to support the channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and get notifications when I'm live in the future. We're here 6 days a week live, and we create one video that we post on Sundays. And here's the full playlist for all 193 episodes that we've had so far. We created this book cover around episode 40, so you can check that out. Right now, we are punching through a crap ton of creature tokens that will be part of random encounters and set challenges inside of the adventure that we're creating, which is for Eberron. It's for 8th level characters. It takes place in the nation of Karnath inside of an unnaturally created manifest zone that your team is tasked with doing something about, depending on what your plot hook and your source or your adventure patron, as it were, depending on what their motivations are, is going to determine what your goal is and what resources are provided to you and what rewards you gain as a result of varying levels of success. Whether you're there to shut down the manifest zone, kill everyone that's responsible for creating it, taking control of it, setting up a teleportation circle so that experts can come in and study the location. There's a lot of different things. My chair's all wonkety right now. I'm going to have to fix it. I can tell already. But yeah, depending on what it is that your goal is, there's 6 different potential plots for why your characters would be there. So you can mix and match them. If you're doing like a one-shot and you wanted to start in the final dungeon, just fighting the boss fight and challenging all the end adventure antagonists, then you could just do like a random. You could all put in roll a d6 for which plot hooks your character specifically is there for, which could potentially create conflicts. And when you guys get to the nexus of the manifest zone, everyone could end up having an argument over what actually needs to be done. And if it is just a one-shot, then if it ends up being a PvP sort of affair where there's conflict being resolved, then so be it. If that's what the team signed up for and they thought that would be fun, you can either choose to keep what your plot hook is concealed or lie about it, or you could share it freely and make it part of the role-playing experience. Totally up to you. There is no wrong answer when you're screwing around with plots and NPCs and player characters and interacting in different ways. You're certainly free to do as you please, and a lot of times it's fun just to mess around with stuff. So anyway, it's pretty fun. So I'm excited about this. We are very, very close to done with the Eberron, with the spelljammer supplement that we have been developing and illustrating and doing page layouts for, etc. in the mornings. As soon as that book publishes, like in the next week or so, then this Eberron project once again becomes our morning gig, and we're going to keep it in the mornings until until it's published, until we finish it. We've got the first 2 acts completed. We're now sussing out just the final details for the third act, and then I'll have the opportunity to start doing layouts. So while we're sussing through the third act, I get to continue working on these tokens and maps. We'll be going back to doing random encounter maps in the mornings. That'll be the first thing that we do when we clear the spelljammer book from my plate and start again working on this. And then that'll mean that spelljammer stuff, the supplements and expansion books that we already have planned that we talked about, that'll probably be like Saturday morning. That'll be like our Saturday morning stream. We have a playtest that we're firing up for the martial power system for characters from level 3 to 9 over the next 4 months. That'll be starting at the end of February. Once the spelljammer book is out of the way, that'll free up my evenings to work on more stuff, including the Eberron adventure, as well as the martial powers playtest content, and building out the home campaign. Since my home campaign just finished their 20th level time travel campaign, we can now start playing in Spelljammer, and so we'll build out a Spelljammer campaign here on stream as well. So I'll figure out what my new schedule is, but Monday through Fridays in the mornings will be Eberron time, and a lot of my off-screen time that I currently spend on the Light as Araxis adventure expansion for Spelljammer, the supplement that we're building. That time will become Eberron development time, so we can kick through the third act, get that up and running, and start collapsing time frames to get this thing published, maybe by July. That'd be cool. In time, hopefully, for the new Player's Handbook in 2024 D&D, so that we'll have our plate fairly clear of the Eberron project and the Spelljammer project to be open for us to rebuild the 5-color mana spell point variant rules using whatever the new 2024 technology is, for us to keep the color mana spell point variant rules current with what Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons are. So that is, I am very much looking forward to that. This is pretty fun. I like how this is sitting. So if any of that sounds cool to you, you should like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, go down in the description down below, kick into my Discord, say hey. Because we'll be playtesting stuff, and I'll be running games, and all the bloody blah that goes along with it. Stare into a glass onion. But told you about Strawberry Hill. Sorry, I don't know. Glass onion, it's just, I'm just messing around with this lighting. For some reason, glass onion just slipped into my head. If you don't know Glass Onion, or if you don't know the Beatles, you should totally check that shit out. The Beatles are really good. They have, I mean, they have so much music. Not all of it's awesome, but the stuff that's good is really good. Definitely worth tracking down. I'd say, I think Abbey Road, White Album, and Rubber Soul, I think are my favorite 3 Beatles albums. But I really like Yellow Submarine. Nah, can't really go wrong. That's what I needed to do. So off screen today, I'm finishing up the diagram for the ship and vessel tokens for the Spelljammer supplement. When I finish here tonight, it'll be close to bedtime, but I'll have a little bit of time to squeeze out another page for the Light of Zaraxis conversion guide, and that'll bring us down to 5 pages: 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, we'll be 6 pages. We'll be down to 6 pages, and I'm trying to dig through those as fast as I can, but I'm still learning how to parse out information on a page with an adventure, and like what details I would say I'm glad I'm taking the time to revisit all that content, because now that I have more experience with over the past year with what the Spelljammer supplement is, there's a lot of improvements that I was able to make in how I structured the revisions. Everything I do is better the slower it cooks, and I hate that reality, but it is absolutely a reality that my shit is great when it cooks slow. So I guess I just kind of have to own the process and accept that my shit's just always going to be a slow grind. But the end results, I absolutely just love the stuff that we end up creating, and I stand 100% behind everything that I make. So I'm proud of the end results, and if that means it takes a while to cook, then it's just going to be a really good Ethiopian stew, you know. I have not had Ethiopian food in a while, and I'm really starting to kind of fiend for it. It's great. It's a bunch of thick stews and like almost like a thick curry, but not really. It's different type. I'm not sure what Ethiopian spices are, but curry doesn't jump to the forefront of my imagination. But it has that sort of thick stew curry sort of feeling to it. But there's this, I forget what the dough is called, but there's this springy dough that they have, that they'll have this massive, it's like a crepe thin dough that's stretchy, and so they'll cover a plate with this dough, and then that's like pan fried cooked. It's like just like a giant crepe. So they slap that down on a plate, and then they put little piles of stew on the crepe. So you lift up underneath the crepe, you tear off a piece of it, and it becomes like an instant burrito. It's like the mix. It's like somewhere between a sticky bun, like a Chinese sticky bun, and a burrito. Like that's the space that this thing occupies. And oh my god, it's so good. There's so much good flavor. And Seattle has just authentic as fuck food of everything. Like the only authentic food I can't find in Seattle is good, honest to God, westernized, shitty ketchup style Chinese food. Like everything is like legit Cantonese cuisine or whatever. I mean, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I miss my shitty Americana Chinese food. I mean, we have Panda Express, but it's not the same. You know, it's not like a hole in the wall mom and pop place whose sweet and sour sauce is half ketchup. You know what I mean? That's a solid Americana flair there. And other than like breakfast places, there's not a lot of Americana flair in Seattle. It's a shame. Everything's too authentic here. It's disturbing. In a good way. Like the sushi is ridiculous. Oh my god. Just trying to get this thing to stick. If I have to work the color into the canvas too much, it loses the glossiness. It's the sharp separation of contrast from white to black that creates the glossiness. And the illusion of the glossiness is that there's like a mild fade into the... Let me do that. Try to make that work. I think this is the most technical illustration I have to color. I mean, it's just a black pudding, but the glossiness is a concern. Just want to make sure I get it right. You know, fuck it. Let's just do that instead. There we go. Yeah, I think that's how we should be able to do it. Straighten that out. That's probably sufficient for now. Let's yeah. I love the glossy feel. Black pudding. Black blood of the earth. You mean oil? I mean black blood of the earth. It'll come out no more. What'll come out no more, huh, Egg Shen? Come on, what was that? Wham, wham, wham. Let's drop this down again so we get some definition. In our space. There. Dentist appointment went well. I have a temporary crown on one of my teethies, the one that's next to my right fang, right behind it. Right behind it is a new crown. So 3 weeks from now, August 6th. Is that it? The 5th. August, no, September. Yeah, no. That's going to be 1, 2. That's only 2 weeks away. The 5th. Yeah, the 5th is when I'm going back in to have my new tooth. So that's going to be another day off. And that's going to be imminently close to me releasing the Spelljammer book. So could potentially be the same day. Not 100% sure, but we are getting really, really close to done. That is both a massive relief and intimidating because I've poured so much. I've poured 15 months into that book. It's been insane. It is the biggest artistic endeavor I've ever attempted, and it's a fucking home run so far. I'm just running the bases, making sure I don't break my ankle when I round third. And I might slide into home just for fun. There, I think I can stop mincing on that now. Okay, thank y'all. Let's do that over here instead. I mince around. The trick on these glossy things is to pick a direction, and that's where your light source comes from. And then pick a secondary direction, and that's where a lesser light source comes from. So you can have like these reverse lighting effects like this flow through the document. Come on, Torquay. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I can finally be content with that. Just smooth that in. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, I get it. I'm getting a weird signal from my muse that I'm not going to be online for very long. I'm going to hit save. I don't know what's going on, but I can sense I'm not going to call it a disturbance in the force because I don't want to be that guy. But there is definitely at least one voice out there screaming into the silence. And I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with that. So I'm thinking maybe I'll finish this black pudding and then cut for the day. I'm sorry about that. I'm feeling a weird flow issue going on. Maybe it'll clear up in the interim, while I continue working on this. Maybe it'll just dissipate and then we'll be okay. But it might not be. So I just want to throw that out there, that I might not actually be on for long. So far, so good. It's looking pretty good. Let's crank that back up. That full. There was a remake of Quantum Leap in 2022, I think. I don't know. I don't think it got a second season, but I'm feeling kind of compelled to watch it. Not now, of course. I relegate almost all my TV time to Sunday afternoons when I'm hanging out with Gal, cooking steaks and watching stupid TV. Good times. Real simple life. So we have Xfinity or Comcast cable up here in Seattle, and somebody out there might have a familiar experience to this, or a similar experience to mine. That Comcast bundles their internet with cable television. It's slightly less if you have TV connectivity for streaming or whatever, and then your internet and broadband and all that other crap, whatever. Anyway, so there's a basic cable package that you just get as being a customer of Comcast, and one of these like ultra generic like D-list cable channels is called Movie Hub, and a really clever logo. Looks like a movie ticket stub. It's really clever. But they don't get enough advertisers to fill all the commercial blocks that they have. It's basically just streaming cable television, and then they just play one movie after the other, and they keep it all afloat with local or national brand stream advertising, but there's not enough content sold in the Seattle area, so there's constantly all these just bumper. There's just like there'll be like a minute and a half of bumpers. It's like, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. I swear we're gonna be back. We'll be back. We're coming back. Here we come. We're here, and we're back. And we'll go back into movies. It's so funny. It makes me hurt when a station can't muster up enough advertising to be able to actually fill its roster. But as a consumer, it's funny as hell to see it. Anyway, that was the end. That was on my mind. I guess I just decided to share it with you. So enjoy that moment of brain fart. Gloss looks so good. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Let's take this and drop the bands. And do better than that. There we go. Wow, serious? Jasmine crew, dude. Alright, whatever. Considering the rate that I'm going, I might not be doing anything other than this fucking black pudding today. Even without the weirdness going on in the sky, it's taking me a while to render this to my liking. Complete that. Not exciting tonight. There. Session 0 for my Spelljammer campaign at my home tables tomorrow. Completely forgot about that. We'll see what the hell happens. Maybe that's what my brain was trying to trigger in me. It's like, hey, by the way. So I think we're going to just handle it like a typical 4X campaign that's focusing primarily on guild and resource management. In that there'll be multiple potential distractions or threats or emergencies cropping up at the same time. And the players can only address one at a time with actual characters, and the rest of them are handled as ability checks that are basically managed by the guild that they control as a collective. So each time we're looking at I'm thinking about breaking down tasks. The full round of a full round of rotation will be per season, and then the territory that they can mine in the asteroid belt is going to be large enough that it rotates. It's broken into basically into three bands, into a grid of 3x3, like a 9x9, like a 9 point, like a tic-tac-toe grid, and it'll be moving horizontally across the orbit. And so each season there'll be like the whole thing will move forward, and while they're in that 3x3 zone, that's their territory that they have mining, that they have mineral rights to, that they can mine or do whatever they want with whatever's in that territory. But the asteroids are in orbit at a different speed, so they have a stationary, they have a geostationary orbit mining contract, but the asteroids are floating at it in actual orbit. So over the course of I don't know, like a year, or I haven't figured out the timing yet, but eventually asteroids come back around, but they also oscillate back and forth in distance from the planet. So every season there's going to be a completely new lot of asteroids for them to potentially process, and but every month we get a like the first third comes in, and then the last third goes out. So whatever's on the edge of leaving is like this month is it's like the last month they have access to that particular set of rocks for like a year or whatever, maybe 3 years. I don't know what the rotation is going to be. But it'll be a while, and presumably they'll be picked clean by the time it comes back around to the characters. So we have the randomizer where new asteroids just kind of like rotate in and out of distance from the planet, so that the roster will forever be new, like with maybe a 1 in 12 chance of seeing the same rock again, each year or whatever. So the players would have the choice between so I'll have to allocate a number of tasks that have to be done each month by the organization as a whole, and then whichever task the team wants to tackle personally, to make it like their own specific mission for them to be able to move the needle on. Then everything else gets handled as guild ability checks. So like mining a rock, or surveying a new array, or dealing with pirates, or negotiating new territory, or creating an alliance with a neighboring mining organization that has mining rights that would benefit from the two of you working together. Stuff like that. And that's the kind of stuff I'm envisioning that the team would be involved in, but not having necessarily a specific character that they keep and go to each time. They can, I'm thinking, depending on what task it is that they want to personally handle, there'll be a group of specialists that are built to be able to handle whatever that challenge is. If they want to do surveying themselves, then they'll have a number of miners and diviners that will be able to assess information about the rocks that are within their zone, or perhaps rocks that are coming up that they want to keep an eye on. And as they gain more resources and successfully mine or collect bounties or whatever it is that they're going to do they'll gain points of resource that they can then allocate to different industries. And depending on what industries they're stronger in is going to determine the amount of resources they have devoted to any specific industry determines what kind of a command die they roll to resolve skill checks involving that industry, when they as players aren't directly impacting the results. They're just relegating resolution to the background to the trade organization that the guild that they'll be representing. So if they decide that they don't think doing rock surveying as a team, if they don't think that's any fun, then that's just something that they're going to start relegating to dice roll as an ability check that can be easily resolved, so they don't actually have to devote any game time to it. And I'm hoping that over the course of a number of cycles, we'll have an emergent gameplay that they're performing tasks that they enjoy a lot, and potentially branch out into other tasks because they may see advantage in like getting involved in surveying rocks after all, because it gives them an edge when it comes to hunting down pirates, for instance. They may decide that they like flying around in fighter craft fighting pirates a lot. And if that's the case, then we're going to have a whole bunch of pirate skirmishes that they can handle in fighter craft and mecha and stuff, and throw spells at and kill them. You know, we'll make a space combat game if they decide instead that they like the trade guild negotiations and the conflict of negotiations and politicking. If they decide that stuff is fun, then we'll lean into more and more opportunities and have like conflicts become a skill check. So whatever your skill check resolution is, that'll determine your military strength for the season that you'll be able to use to posture with when you're negotiating. Like, you know, we could destroy you, but instead we would rather negotiate this contract to have an agreeable profit win-win for both of us. What say you? And then, you know, we can hash that stuff out. That's kind of the idea that I'm taking. So I'm still figuring out what the industries are. I really would benefit from actually being able to devote serious think time on this, but until the Spelljammer supplement is published, I can't really allocate that time without dropping something. And I don't really want to drop any of the projects that I'm working on because they're all helping me curve these ideas all together. Like everything that I'm doing right now is helping towards a larger campaign theme goal that I can produce as a sort of domain style of campaign, like a different type of domain style of play from the BX experience or the 3E experience, or different from the Bastion system that's been proposed, or from the Kingdom and Warfare system that is popular from MCDM. I want to explore a different sort of design game space. And I can feel it, and I can use this home campaign as an excuse to chew on how those mechanics can interact with each other. But I'm still sussing out specifically how they work. So that's the stuff that challenges me as a DM currently. Like I've played 5e enough that I know pretty much what a 5e campaign is supposed to do. I've finished 3 20th level 1 to 20 campaigns. I've ran Gestalt campaigns. I've ran E6 campaigns. I've had a few start and stops. I've had my succession of failures as well as victories. So I've had a really good broad experience with 5e, and my takeaway from all of it isn't I want to play something else now. Instead, it's I want to learn what can I really do to bend and break the 5e system. How can I really remold the 5e to express game styles differently now that I'm well versed with the heroic fantasy that it's intended for? How can I manipulate the rules to be able to lean into a different sort of feel? And I'm excited about that. I'm legit excited about that. I think 5e is an amazing engine. It is a great role-playing game system. It is by far my favorite that I've ever experienced in any of the D&D formats. It is, I think, the bee's knees. I'd say Cypher Systems is a distant second, but definitely my second. But a lot of things I enjoy about these alternate 5e mechanics, I could see working in Cypher as well. Like I can kind of feel how Kingdom domain mechanics would work with Cypher system. It's essentially just ability checks. I mean, most of the Cypher system is just ability checks anyway. So everything about it should curve in. It's just, I think, I just like 5e more. I like the clunkiness of it. I like the the non-fluid action economy of combat, or how much the game leans into combat action economy as opposed to any other mode of play, and the imbalance of the pillars. I like how much of a radical stand 5e makes towards heroic fantasy, and I like subverting that and then peeling away the complexity of combat and still stay within the 5e mold. I think it's just a personal challenge for me to just be able to express games in different ways. It's fun. I think it's fun anyway. But I mean, I've been doing it for a fuck long time, so like when I get bored, I don't quit what I'm doing. I just find new ways to enjoy what it is that I do. And let me just make a quick aside. If more people had that attitude towards their marriages, we'd have a lot less divorces in the world. But I'll digress from any further social commentary. Most people don't place the role-playing game that you prefer on par with your lifelong committed relationships. But you could. You're allowed to if you wish. Going to be all right. Maybe it is. I don't know. It feels kind of shitty right now. Yeah, it's starting to get kind of shitty. This is the wrong path, so we need to break. Oops. We need to. Let's clean this up. God, I keep coming back to this central mound here. I mean, it really is the center of the piece. Just let it smooth out. Smooth jazz. K-Y-O-T. The coyote. I found out that noise is called vocal fry. When your voice does. It's called frying. And it's a fairly common occurrence, apparently, across different cultures. Sometimes it's used as an inflection and tone to convey like an emotional charge to the words that are being used, depending on the language. I think it's Laotian that does that. I could be mistaken. I don't recall precisely what languages were being exemplified for each of the uses of vocal frying. Well, hello, Hero Knight. Are you drawing Venom? Venom, Venom, Venom. You ain't gonna know what hit him. No, this is a black pudding. I'm a D&D designer. I'm creating an adventure. I create creature tokens for the adventures that I make. One of the set challenges deep into one of the dungeons is a dungeon is flooding because a black pudding is caught in the drain that would let the overflow water pour into the Underdark caverns beneath the dungeon. But the black pudding is preventing it from moving. So, but yeah, black puddings are very much like Venom in that they're inky blobs. They're technically oozes. Only semi-sentient things that respond more as like instinctive predator activity than actually having any kind of decision making. But because it's just a black pudding, I really lean into the glossiness of it. So, welcome to the mix, my guy. I'm here. I stream 6 days a week, in the mornings and in the evenings. Monday through Friday in the mornings. Sometimes I do different stuff on Saturday mornings, but right now I've been doing a bunch of spelljammer artwork and book design Monday through Friday in the morning, and then on Mondays and Thursday nights like this, I just do maps and creature token design for an Eberron adventure that I've been working on off and on for the past 2 years. And during lunchtime, I do a color mana system for martial characters in 5th edition called Martial Powers, using the Magic the Gathering 5-color magic paradigm as the base template for designing the magical effects, which has been a hell lot of fun. I don't know if you're a 5e enthusiast guy or not. Maybe you're here for the artwork, or maybe you got caught up in an MTG tag that misled you into looking at artwork. But Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons artwork has inspired me to be a freelance artist for the past 20 some odd years. And at some point I decided that if I make my own books, my own games, I can paint precisely what I want and be my own art director. And the sales of the books, what's the word? What's the word? The secondary, the collateral benefit of making my own books is that I get to pay myself to do artwork, as opposed to trying to hunt for a freelance art gig to work with some game design company that I might honestly not be interested in what the art assignment is, but that's what I signed up for, to get the bag. I'd rather create my own games that I can have 100% control over the type of artwork that I put into it, and how that artwork aligns with the product, and like what kind of a statement am I making with it, and blah 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 blah, all the stuff that artists care about when they have independence and like creative independence. So creating books granted me that creative independence to make the kind of artwork that I like to make on my own time frame. And so I've been doing this for, I don't know, maybe 2 years now. It's a slow grind for Phil, mostly because YouTube doesn't know what the hell to do with me. It's like a game design stream that spends most of its time talking about artwork or whatever, and it's not punchy short little shorts like 90 seconds or 15-second things. It's like 2-hour crawls through a game design that I might end up throwing away at the end of it. So I think the algorithms get confused by me. I keep getting out of country SEO offers like, hey, your channel's like not clicking in with the audience that's connecting with it. I'm like, I know. Like, do you want to pay us to fix that? It's like, do you have any idea what I'm doing? They're like, no. It's like, okay, well then see you later. I'll do it my way, and it might be the dumb way or the slow way or the non-profitable way, but god damn it, it's my way. And the whole reason I decided to do all this stuff in the first place is because I wanted to do things my way. Call it selfish, but at least I'm not selling out my own vision for the hustle. Hopefully I can subvert it and make the hustle built around what I actually enjoy doing, and so that when I actually gain popularity and some momentum, muse willing, then I can be able to continue sallying forth uncompromised, so that I can continue just doing what I'm doing if there's only one person or if there's 1,000 people hanging out. I would like to be in a place where it doesn't matter how many people are checking this out, even if there's none, that it's still me talking about the same shit that I'd be talking about, still pushing the same pixels, trying to make the same game. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I survive long enough to see any of this stuff actually flourish or not. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Let's drop the opacity a bit here to see where all my reflections at. Where all my reflections at? Meow 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 moogie bay. Meow 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 moogie bay. Meow 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 moogie bay. Where are all my bad girls at? Some CeeLo for ya. CeeLo gets stuck in my head occasionally. I mainly blame To Anyone, but you know, she was the breakout from it, and I think like promptly bombed. But K-pop has its place in my heart. Yeah, like that. Just clean up that edge a little. There we go. Wop, wop, wop. I love my Epidemic music. Epidemic's a great streaming service. I legit enjoy the music that's on it. Trying to clean that up a bit. There we go. Some smooth jazz. K-Y-O-T. The Coyote. I used to live in Phoenix, and they had a smooth jazz station called the Coyote, K-Y-O-T. I think it was like 104.3 K-Y-O-T. I could be wrong about that, but man, that jazz was smooth jazz. Get my microphone back here. I've got a microphone here that's on a boon. I've got a little fuzzy thing on top of it. He's my constant companion. But he fades into the background while I paint. With my Ravnica guild background. That was a fun piece to build. Beep, beep, beep. I'm pretty happy with that. The question is, am I fully content? So let's kick this back up to full. Whew, we're getting there. We're almost done. Only with with this piece. Anyway, we've got like another 20 to go. But hey, that's show business, right? I feel like there should be a thing going on in here. Oh, but definitely not on there. I keep using the wrong layer. Dumbass. There. Here I am working on this curve again. There you go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. So here we go again. I tell you what, man. When Sammy Hagar figures out that one way to rock, he's going to make a lot of money. Good luck, Sammy. Anyone catching this in the future, put a comment down below if you think that Sammy Hagar will eventually find the one way to rock. We're all hoping for him. It's just, will he achieve his goal before he dies? And if you don't know Sammy Hagar's one way to rock, you're really doing yourself a service not knowing it. Because it's really a least common denominator 80s rock song. I don't I mean I respect that's not the right word. I appreciate him being able to pick up the mantle after David Lee Roth in Van Halen, and honestly, I think some of my favorite work came out of the albums that Sammy Hagar was a part of. But I mean, I'm a big 1984 album. Like, that's just a fucking amazing album. It's unbeatable, you know. That and 5150 is a pretty damn good album too. But is it Pump? I think Pump is the first album that came out with Sammy Hagar. That is legitimately a good album. It's like really, really good music. It feels very Van Halen. And I'm going to contribute that to the Van Halen brothers more than anything. I think I think with Sammy Hagar entering the band, I think he was much more agreeable to whatever direction it is that Eddie and Alex wanted to go. And I honestly, I think David Lee Roth personality, I think, was probably too strong to allow the musicians to properly express themselves, because David Lee Roth wasn't a musician. He was a frontman singer, which he was amazing at, and the amount of sex appeal he dumped into that band was amazing. So that's what helped them explode so much. So I mean, mad props to Lee Roth, but musically, I think Van Halen had a lot of growth once he exited the scene. And Hagar is an instrumentalist himself. I think he's a guitarist, so I think he just gets better where Eddie and Alex are trying to go. I mean, I could be talking out of my ass. I'm hardly a Van Halen historian, and anyone that is out there in the audience, be welcome to correct me. That's just the vibe I get. But hey, I'm 50, so I have those kind of opinions, you know? Ain't gonna know what hit him. Venom, Venom, Venom. I tell you what, man, that first Venom movie was fucking great. God, why I can't remember the name of the actor. You know, he was Bane and Mad Max and whatever the hell his name is. But he's a good actor. He's got a ridiculously wide range and very little ego associated to how he's supposed to be depicted. Like, he will be the fall guy if that's the gig. Like, if he likes the role and that's what the role's supposed to be doing, he'll play it. I can't believe I'm blanking his name. Anyone that can remember that, just it's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't fucking get it. Venom, Venom, Venom. You ain't gonna know what hit him. Shout out Eminem, man. That's a great song, by the way. The Venom theme song. So fun. That's legitimately good popcorn film. The second one was kind of garbage. And anytime Woody Harrelson is brought into a piece, it's kind of it's a real crapshoot. It could end up awesome. It could end up complete shit. And I say he landed someplace, luckily, in the middle. So I think the Venom property was strong enough to survive Woody Harrelson. God, the actor's name is on the fucking tip of my tongue. I keep wanting to say a C word like Clay or... I know that's not it. Remind me of what his name was. Show me the path that led me to remembering his name. Oh, I'll find it on the internet. That's my path. That's my path of discovery. Google. Infinite information, too lazy to check. Harvey. Something... Harry... I know, I can feel it. It's in there. I'm gonna hit save because something just felt weird. We'll end the stream by looking up his name if I can't remember it. Oh God, it's Tom something. It's Tom. Shit. Ugh. Is it Tom something? God, it's just sticking in my craw. Tom Harvey. Thank you. Tell me that's it. Tell me that's your name. Tell me your name is Tom Harvey. Hardy, thank you. Yep, Tom Hardy. Thank you. Hella actor, wide range. You ain't gonna know what hit him. Victory. I'll take that victory. I was off by a consonant, but I'll still take it. Power to the muse. She knows. You ain't gonna know what hit 'em. Venom, 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 venom. Venom, venom, venom. You ain't gonna know what hit 'em. Alright, is this the last of it? We're almost there. Yeah, when we finish this this pudding, we'll call it for the day. And then we'll come back and we'll do some more on Thursday. Hey, Kill. What's up? Oh, Healthstorm. I was just popping around. I saw you put up a link to your channel. Kind of interested in the art stream. Hey, right on, man. Well, we're making a black pudding right now. Cheers. And we're doing, we're creating, this is for an Eberron adventure that I've been slowly cooking for the past couple years. It's got 3 acts. 2 of the acts are finished editing. Once my spelljammer book finishes, then we'll be working on this primarily to get the 3rd act finished so we can get into page layouts. We've spent 193 episodes creating maps, tokens, and different assets that will be included in a zip file as with black and white and color tokens for like BTT use or for printing on a laser printer at home tables. But it's this is an 8th level adventure for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition in the Eberron campaign setting. I'm a big Eberron enthusiast. It's my favorite campaign setting of all the home worlds that have been produced for Dungeons and Dragons over the decades. Eberron is by far my favorite world because it subverts so many like opinions about orcs and like makes like these interesting conflicts like between shapeshifters and a church of paladins, and it's a lot of fun conflicts and stuff that happen inside of the Eberron setting. If you've seen my links around Hells, I don't know if you're coming from the Eberron crowd or one of the other creator channels that I troll, but I've been playing D&D for 30 some odd years, and I really got good at high level campaigns during 3rd edition. And so 5th edition, when 5th edition came out, it was like, wow, this is like 5th edition really is easy mode compared to 3rd edition. And so a lot of the strong skills that I accumulated dealing with 27th level Gestalt characters in 3rd edition, translating that skill base over to 5e was pretty easy. So I've really, because the technical workload has been so light in comparison, it's really allowed me to open up design space for looking at like how the 5e game, like how the engine works and what can we do to manipulate it, and how can we tell different types of stories, and what kind of changes to the mechanical systems in 5e can we change to lean into different narratives. So just completed my home table is they just completed a level 1 to 20 campaign in Eberron. It was a time travel campaign where they would keep reliving the same day over and over again, Groundhog style, Groundhog's Day style, and the world ends at the end of the day. So while they're in the loop, if they can't figure out how to stop the world from ending, then they die, and then they all come back at the beginning of the day to try it again. So the campaign isn't really so much about staying alive. They've died hundreds of times. Sometimes just slitting their throat just to speed up what comes next. Like it's really meta after a while. Like once they really leaned into, like got to the Bill Murray electrocuting himself in the bathroom level of exploration. Once they got to that point, they were really just able to just throw themselves against threats that were outweighing them. And it was built like a Metroid Castlevania style sort of setup. Like once they defeated a certain boss or a certain area, then they would get a ritual, a spell, or a magic item or something that they would be able to keep with them when they looped back to the beginning of the day. That they had a certain, like the Eldritch Knight on the team, for example, would be able to bond to any item that he ran across, and then when the day reset and they woke up again back at the bar all hungover, he could use his bonded item and fetch an item to him. And after a while, everyone on the team picked up boons to be able to do the same. So the team started collecting different like Metroid style things. Like, I've got the bomb now, so now they have bombs that they could blow holes in walls and stuff like that. Like, for example, like they had a disintegration stone and a paralyzing stone, and a ritual that would allow them to change where they would wake up when the team died. So there was like a lot of really neat utility shit that they picked up over the course of the 20 level campaign. And the goal of the deal in the campaign, the meta of it was, the campaign is over when you choose to drop out of the time loop. By the time they got to 7th level, they had found a ritual that would end the Groundhog Day, but they knew that if they didn't stop the world from being destroyed, that if they dropped out of the loop, they would die, and then the campaign's over. So they had to stay in the loop until they could solve it, and like a good DM, I was able to thread enough crumbs and different paths to scatter their attention enough that they were able to accumulate 20 levels over the course of figuring out what was going on. Like the only real the real trick to running a 20 level campaign is, one, have a table of players that are willing to stick around however long it takes to get there, and B, always have more plot hooks than they have time to resolve. So something is always escalating. I've actually got a number of like short videos and stuff on my channel here that talks a little bit about that stuff, and I'm looking to add to that collection. But that's essentially the key to running any campaign over time, is you have to have a table that's dedicated to the task. Like, that's their goal. Their goal is to show up each week, not because we like to play D&D, but because we're trying to complete this particular mission. We want to complete this campaign. We want to get to 20th level, and this is how we're going to do that as players. Like, running a level 1 to 20 campaign is such a rarity in the D&D game sphere, that being able to just offering a 1 to 20 campaign and then having a roadmap to actually get there, and then recruiting people on board that believe in the idea enough to stick around to see it happen, that actually allows you the opportunity to figure out how to do it. And once you do it once, it becomes pretty easy to do it again and then again. And so I'll be working through my 4th campaign. I'll be streaming my 4th campaign design, both for the Ravnica Color Magic Rumble Belt campaign, for the playtesters that are interested, through my Patreon and my Discord channel, or my home table, which are my dedicated players that I'll be doing a spelljammer, Eberron spelljammer campaign next, and I'll be building that on stream too. But I gotta get, first things first, which is finish the spelljammer book, and once that is done, then I free up a lot of design space for me to be able to build out those campaigns a lot easier. But I gotta get that book done. God damn it, I gotta get that book done. It'll be a monster when it's done. It'll be gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to it. That's looking pretty good. It's not quite done yet, but it's looking good. Hey, what's up? Oh, right on. I stream 7 days a week, so the next time I'll be back on tomorrow morning, I'll be back on in 9 hours, like 9.5 hours. I'll be working on ship tokens. Am I working on ship tokens? I might be working on a GIF. No, I think I'm working on a GIF character illustration. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing tomorrow. But yeah, I'll be back in 9 hours. And then I'll be back in 12 hours from now. I'll be doing a Selesnya Ranger Beastmaster using white and green mana. and for the martial power system that we've been developing. And then I won't be back on until Wednesday morning to do Spelljammer again. And then I'll be back on Thursday night doing this. Yeah, just swing by. Like, subscribe. You know, you'll get notifications when I'm live. And YouTube hates me because I leave all my live streams up for people to look at. It's like this is the worst algorithm content ever. But I like it. So fuck you, YouTube. I'm just gonna do it my way. Your algorithm will probably end up agreeing with me given it enough time, because it's going to try to keep figuring out how to keep getting clicks, and eventually people are going to be interested in long form study hall design stuff like this. And when it gets popular, I'll have like 7,000 hours of it. So cheers. Oh, right on, my guy. Oh, cool. I'm glad to have you. Seriously, it's a huge honor and humbling that people are legitimately interested in the shit that I do. So it's thanks, honest appreciation. But if you are into D&D and you haven't checked out my books, they'll have extensive free previews. There's a bunch of them that are in the description down below. Go check them out, thumb through them. Yeah, swing by my Discord, jump on board, whatever you want to do, man. You are more than welcome at whatever capacity you want to play. But you get some sleep. The world will stop for you while you take your nap. Nap of the dead. I remember saying I'm already dead. Choose to stand up and hold your hands in some stupid symbol. You're gonna get up and scream. You're gonna get up and burn an X in your head. Zom, zom, boom, ba-dum-ba-dum. White Zombie is the shit. If you don't know White Zombie, man, Astro Creep 2000 is a smash album. It is by far Zombie's best work. Like Rob Zombie's solo work, or like Thunder Kiss, anything, like Sexorcisto, I mean, anything that came before or after Astro Creep 2000 is just subpar White Zombie grind. White Zombie is such a fucking hardcore band. So dope. There we go. I think that's it's probably good enough. Let's no, wait, hold on, shit. This little eddy down in here is pissing me off. I want to get some lighting on there, but then this will be done. There we go. I gotta warn everyone, though, it's not always cool shit that we're doing. Sometimes it's just legitimate grind work. Like page layouts isn't very much fun, but I do that on stream sometimes. Revising text, editing, that's not fun a lot of times either. It's a lot of slow grind, word salad, mashing things out, like fucking around with syllable by syllable. How does it fit on in the page space? It can be monotonous. I try to save the more interesting and visually stimulating elements of a project to do stream on, because you know I'm supposed to be entertaining you, they tell me. So, but I think it's a disservice to hide the monotony of the work sometimes. Like if you aspire to build games yourself, or if you want to build a PDF, regardless of what aspect of it that you want to do, the writing, the editing, the layouts, the illustrations, the development, whatever aspect of document creation is compelling you the most. I've had an opportunity to demonstrate some skill sets from all the different aspects of designing a book, and sometimes it's not fun, and that can be really intimidating to people that are just casually thinking about it. There's nothing casual about making PDFs. It is a hardcore labor. Like, the better you get, if you're just building, a text file that you end up converting to into a PDF or something, then the effort will be low, and probably the notoriety you gain from it, or the satisfaction you have of praise, is probably going to be low as well. It's once you start elevating yourself to doing massive projects that you really start to feel the addiction of accomplishment, which is really what compels art in general. And you know that you have a legitimate art on you if you are absolutely compelled to continue creating in that medium, whatever it is. I'm gonna do that. That feels pretty fucking cool. All right, yeah, let's leave. Maybe we leave it like this. Maybe we do this instead. Muse knows what she wants me to do. I just keep playing along until she lets me go. That feels pretty good. Let's just do that. There, let's be like that. Venom, 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 you ain't gonna know what hit 'em. Venom, 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 venom. You ain't gonna know what hit 'em. There. There we go. That looks pretty fucking cool. All right, I think I'm happy. More importantly, I think Muse is happy. I think she's going to let me go on this one and call it for the night. Give me a little bit of time to get another page from the Lazaraxis conversion guide done, we can keep moving that forward. If I can have that conversion guide done before the end of the month, and us starting to drop tokens in, that'll be a good morning project for me to do those page layouts. That'll be at least entertainment. So I think, yeah, we're good. I like this. I think it's turned out fucking awesome. So we're gonna leave that be like that. That is our nice timing. Thank you. I love it when everything comes together like that. Let's take this to the top. There. Back, put in, baby, done. And then we got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 new other tokens to take care of. All the line art is done for everybody. We're just coloring now. So that's awesome. So we'll do flats, and then we'll do detail work. I just decided to do detail this one because there are no flats. The flat was black and it was kind of done. Like, that's kind of dumb. So let's just keep moving forward with it. I might bounce back and forth between flats and full rendering, I guess, just depending on what the muse wants to do. And, you know, we always do what she wants because lady knows best, right? So cheers to you, baby. But yeah, happy camper. I'll see you all on the other side. Thanks all for hanging out for a little bit, everyone. Really appreciate you. Like, subscribe, bell icon if you're here in the future. I'm here 6 days a week, and I post once a week. I post a pre-made video on Sundays. Otherwise, Monday through Saturday, I'm streaming anywhere from 1 to 3 times a day. Just depends on what day of the week it is and what we got going on. So I'll see you guys in about 9 hours, and have a good night. Thanks a lot.